Since taking over as general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers back in 2017, Rob Pelinka has always been seen as someone calm, composed, and extremely calculated. Whether in interviews, trade talks, or media appearances, he's rarely shaken. But something unusual happened after the Lakers' latest playoff failure, a moment that revealed not only frustration, but also something far more important, a clear admission of error. And all it took was one question. One single question that caught Pelinka off guard, and made him snap. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. After the Lakers' early elimination from the postseason, a reporter asked about a decision that many fans and analysts had been wondering about. Why didn't the team convert the two-way contracts of Christian Koko or Trey Jemison into standard NBA deals? Doing so would have allowed either of them to suit up in the playoffs, a time when the Lakers desperately needed size, defense, and fresh legs in the paint. Pelinka's reaction was immediate and intense. According to a report by Clutch Point's journalist Anthony Irwin, the executive didn't hide his frustration. It was clear, this question got under his skin. And it's not hard to understand why. The Lakers' playoff exit didn't come out of nowhere. It was a slow unraveling that everyone could see, and it all started with one glaring issue, a lack of front-court depth. J.J. Redick, stepping into his first postseason as head coach, looked at his bench and didn't find the tools he needed to respond. With only Jackson Hayes and Alex Len available, and Len being virtually unplayable at times, Redick's hands were tied. The Lakers had no reliable backup bigs. No rim protection. No lob threats. No versatility in the paint. And that's exactly why the question about Koko and Jemison hit so hard. Rob Pelinka knew, and still knows, that this flaw might have cost the team a deeper playoff run. Koko, especially, is a player who could have made a real difference defensively, contesting shots, helping on the glass, and giving the Lakers something they didn't have, a mobile big who can play pick-and-roll defense and finish around the rim. But here's the twist. Even though Pelinka lost his composure in that moment, he also made a firm commitment. This problem will not happen again. And that's where things get interesting. Pelinka is known for being patient. He's the kind of executive who waits for the perfect deal, the one that gives him what he wants without overpaying. But sources close to the front office are saying that this time, things will be different. Very different. Even before the NBA officially opened its off-season trade window, Pelinka was already one of the most active executives in the league, reaching out to multiple teams, testing the market, and laying the groundwork for some serious moves. But there's a catch. Any team with a solid center, someone who could really help the Lakers, is starting the conversation with one name, Dalton Knecht. The rookie has generated a ton of buzz and is viewed as a valuable asset around the league. So any potential trade for a high-level big man will likely cost the Lakers a package equal to, or greater than, the one they were prepared to offer for Mark Williams, before that deal fell through. It's no secret that the Lakers are targeting a starting-caliber center. But what most people didn't know, until now, is that Pelinka's plan goes beyond just one big-name acquisition. He's not just hunting for one solution. He wants multiple centers, each with different strengths, different styles, and different roles. According to insiders, Pelinka is building a new front court from the ground up. He wants a rim protector who can also run the floor. He wants a lob threat to pair with LeBron James and Luka Doncic, assuming the rumored pursuit of Luka Doncic gains traction. And if possible, he wants a big who can stretch the floor and knock down shots from deep. Finding all those traits in one player is nearly impossible. That's why names like Daniel Gafford, Dallas Mavericks, and Nick Claxton, Brooklyn Nets, have jumped to the top of the Lakers' wishlist. They offer key elements the team lacked this past season: shot blocking, mobility, energy, and in Claxton's case, elite switching ability on defense. But Pelinka isn't stopping there. He's also targeting key free agents, role players who may not be stars, but who can complement these bigs with defense, hustle, and rebounding. Whether as starters or bench contributors, the goal is simple: turn the front court into a position of strength, not weakness. All of this spells bad news for one current Laker, Jackson Hayes. After losing his spot in the rotation during the playoffs and watching his minutes disappear, Hayes is reportedly unhappy with his role. And with the team clearly planning to reshape the center position, his chances of staying in Los Angeles are fading quickly. He could be included in a trade. He might be released. But one thing is almost certain: the front office is moving on. And now we get to the player at the center of this entire story, Christian Koko. The young big man was overlooked during the regular season, stuck in a two-way contract, unable to play when the games mattered most. But now, his name is front and center. Sources say Koko is a top priority for the Lakers this offseason. Not only does the front office see his value, but so do rival teams. Multiple franchises are expected to offer him a standard NBA deal, and the Lakers may need to act fast if they want to keep him in purple and gold. Koko offers something the Lakers badly need: length, defense, athleticism, and upside. He's not a star yet, but his presence could have changed the dynamic of the playoff series they lost. Pelinka knows it. JJ Redick knows it. And now the fans know it too. This offseason, Rob Pelinka is under pressure, and for the first time in years, he's not waiting around. He's moving. He's calling. He's negotiating. Because after one reporter asked a simple question, Rob Pelinka realized it was time to face the truth. And now, it's time to fix it. For years, the idea of Luka wearing any jersey other than that of the Dallas Mavericks seemed impossible. He wasn't just their star player, he was their future. The heir to Dirk Nowitzki, another European legend, Luka was expected to be the face of the franchise for the next decade. He was already making his mark with jaw-dropping performances, fearless step-back threes, and a basketball IQ that often made seasoned veterans look outmatched. Fans in Dallas loved him. The organization had built around him. And everyone believed he would eventually bring a championship to the city that had embraced him as one of their own. But in the NBA, nothing is guaranteed. Not even for superstars. Without warning, a blockbuster trade sent shockwaves across the league. Luka Doncic was heading to the Los Angeles Lakers. No leaks, no build-up, just a stunning move that caught the entire basketball world off guard. Even Luka himself seemed blindsided. It was the kind of trade that instantly shifts the balance of power in the league and dominates headlines for weeks. But with the headlines came something else: criticism. Almost immediately, stories started surfacing. Anonymous quotes began to circulate, whispers about Luka's supposed lack of conditioning, concerns about his commitment to staying in peak physical form. There were suggestions that his fitness had been an issue behind closed doors, contributing to some of the nagging injuries he experienced. It felt like a calculated effort to control the narrative after the trade, but it came at a personal cost for Luka. Once the Lakers were knocked out in the first round of the playoffs by the Minnesota Timberwolves, things got even worse. Social media piled on. Memes comparing Luka to out-of-shape celebrities started to circulate, and the jokes kept coming. His work ethic was called into question, and the online ridicule was relentless. But what many didn't realize was that Luka was watching. He was listening. And he was storing every word, every meme, every slight. According to Dan Woik of the Los Angeles Times, all that noise didn't just hurt, it lit a fire. In a recent newsletter, Woik shared that people close to Doncic believe this offseason is personal for him. The criticism, the embarrassment, the constant questioning of his effort and dedication, it's all being used as fuel. Luka is on a mission to prove the doubters wrong. And his actions are starting to speak louder than any words. Since arriving in Los Angeles, Luka has fully immersed himself in the team and the city. He's not just here to play, he's here to belong. From day one, he's been involved in community initiatives, showing a level of commitment that goes far beyond the basketball court. He's donated generously to wildfire relief efforts in California and personally funded the restoration of an iconic Kobe Bryant mural, a powerful gesture that hasn't gone unnoticed by Lakers fans. These aren't the actions of someone simply going through the motions. These are the actions of a man with something to prove. And let's not forget who this man is. Luka Doncic was a 5-time NBA All-Star before his 26th birthday. A player who, at his peak, was regularly mentioned in conversations about the best in the league. Not just top 10, but top 5. He's known for his dazzling vision, his unguardable scoring moves, and a clutch gene that seems to activate exactly when his team needs it most. He's always played with a chip on his shoulder, and now that chip has grown even larger. At just 26 years old, Luka is entering the prime of his career. And according to those closest to him, he's more motivated than ever. He's training harder. He's reshaping his body. He's laser-focused on silencing the critics and proving that not only does he belong in LA, he can thrive here. This is bad news for the rest of the NBA. Because a locked-in, hungry Luka Doncic isn't just another star, he's a force of nature. The kind of player who can completely change the trajectory of a season. And with veterans like LeBron James, rising stars like Austin Reeves, and the Lakers front office aggressively targeting reinforcements in the offseason, Los Angeles is quietly preparing for something big. They're not rebuilding, they're reloading. And with Luka at the center of it all, the stakes have never been higher. The critics spoke. The jokes flew. The doubt settled in. But now, Luka Doncic is ready to answer. According to Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report, one player who fits the profile the Lakers need is Walker Kessler, a young center currently with the Utah Jazz. At just 23 years old and entering his third NBA season, Kessler is considered a rising defensive force, especially when it comes to rim protection. Swartz points out, it's no secret what position the Lakers are targeting this offseason. They need a starting center, preferably someone who can finish lobs from Luka Doncic and LeBron James while providing strong rim protection. Kessler's defensive numbers back up this assessment. Last season, he averaged 2.4 blocks per game, the second highest in the entire league, trailing only Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs, who led with an astounding 3.8 blocks per game. This level of rim protection is rare and exactly what the Lakers have been missing. Kessler's timing and length make him an elite shot blocker, and his presence alters opponent shots and forces adjustments on offense. On the offensive end, Kessler is efficient and effective. Over 58 games last season with Utah, he averaged 11.1 points per game on an impressive 66.3% shooting clip, primarily from close range around the rim. He also contributed 12.2 rebounds per game, showing his ability to control the glass on both ends of the floor. Additionally, he averaged 1.7 assists and 0.6 steals, showing a level of versatility and awareness that adds value beyond just scoring and blocking shots. Kessler is currently on his rookie-scale contract, which means the Jazz still have the opportunity to extend him this summer. However, Utah appears to be in the early stages of a rebuild, accumulating draft picks and young talent with an eye towards the future. This context could make Kessler available in trade talks, as the Jazz may be willing to part with a young player who can bring back valuable assets. For the Lakers, this presents a possible opening. Speculation suggests that Los Angeles might be willing to part with future draft capital, possibly including their 2031 first-round pick, along with a second-round pick or even a pick swap, to make a deal work for Kessler. While giving up future picks is never easy for a franchise trying to build long-term success, the Lakers might view this as a necessary step to get immediate help and build around Doncic now. Earlier this year, the Lakers almost pulled off a deal involving their rookie shooting guard Dalton Knecht and Charlotte Hornets center Mark Williams. Though that trade fell through, Knecht's contract could still play a role in facilitating a trade this offseason, potentially as part of a package for Kessler. His salary fits within the Lakers' cap structure and could be a key piece to balance a trade. Besides Kessler, Swartz also names a couple of other centers who could be on the Lakers' radar. Brooklyn Nets' Nick Claxton and Cleveland Cavaliers' Jarrett Allen are both strong rim protectors with complementary skills, offering different options for LA's front office to consider. Claxton is known for his mobility and defensive versatility, while Allen brings solid scoring and rebounding along with his defensive presence. However, Kessler's youth, potential, and contract situation could make him the most appealing long-term solution. As the Lakers plot their off-season moves, one thing is clear. Finding a dependable center to anchor their defense and finish plays around the basket is a top priority. Pairing such a player with a generational talent like Luka Doncic would transform the Lakers into a much tougher contender. Doncic's ability to create opportunities for others demands a reliable big man who can execute finishes at the rim and protect the paint on defense. LeBron James and Austin Reeves will continue to be vital parts of the rotation, but the addition of a defensive-minded, lob-finishing center could be the missing piece that elevates this Lakers squad into true championship contention. The upcoming months will be crucial for Los Angeles. With trade talks ramping up and the NBA off-season market beginning to heat up, the Lakers' pursuit of Walker Kessler or another prime center could be one of the biggest stories. The team's front office must balance assets, salaries, and fit carefully to make the right move. Ultimately, this is about building a team around Luka Doncic that can compete at the highest level now and in the future. The right center would not only bolster the defense but also allow Doncic and others to operate in a more dynamic, free-flowing offense, one that can challenge the league's best teams. As the Lakers prepare to enter this critical offseason, all eyes will be on how they address this key roster need and what moves they make to solidify their path forward. One thing is certain, the search for a dominant center is underway, and Walker Kessler stands out as a promising candidate who could soon be donning the purple and gold.